also, we're concerned with work. How a certain person who has a disability is able to work. Let's say he's a previous baker or a previous typist. How could he or she go back as a typist after stroke?
Okay.
So we're concerned with how he takes care of himself, his education, work, and of course, we are also concerned with how the child plays for those pediatrics.
So it's
that's
not
the domain of concern now.
So if I get it right, a PT would be concerned about, okay, rehabilitating the joints, the muscles, and the like. You know? And the OT would say, okay, I'll now teach you how to eat, how to do your functions. So it is one after the other. You go for PT first, and then OT after. No. Can you elaborate on that, please?
Not necessarily.
All right.
We do work together as OTs and PTs. Sometimes patients may need to go to PT first before going to OT. But there are a lot of times wherein OTs and PTs work at the same time with the patients.
Okay, all right. When you speak of occupational therapy, is there any psychology that must be done to help the patient?
Yes, we study certain units in psychology because we have to learn how to understand people. One thing that we are really concerned is being what we call client-centered, meaning we empathize what's our client, whether they're children or adults, what they are thinking and what they're feeling. So in a way, we're trained to empathize with our clients so that we understand them and we know what to do or what management to use.
What this really tells me is that, hey, you guys are, know more than what I thought you'd do. And it's so nice to know that, okay? And I'm sure there's so much more to know. Later we'll get both groups together and know more, all right? There's more. Stay with us. Enough to really know about the OPs and the PTs, okay? We have them all here. I call it the Tai Chi girl, but also a PT with us, okay? So there's really a lot more. But we'll just suggest, what do you suggest so that they know more? Any volunteers? If I want to know more about PTs, what do I do?
They could log in or they could look at the website.
All right.
Our website is www.philpta.org.
Phil, Philippines. P-H-I-L, Phil.
PTA.
Then PTA.
PT Association.
PTA.
.org.
Org.
Org. O-R-G.
Org. And
yeah.
what will they see in that website?
There would be a lot of information that would be given there, or they would see there, with the different links and the different tabs. You would be able to see the history of the association and the profession, the definition, according to the World Confederation of Physical Therapy.
Okay.
We also have the member tab, and also the officers of the Philippine Physical Therapy Association. The events, the activities that we are engaged in right now, one of them, the main highlight is the National Convention on September 12-13, and also some of the issues, concerns like seminars, different literatures or different articles that have been contributed by different professional PTs in the Philippines.
Now, so if I'm a parent, going to that website would be of help, right?
Yes, very much.
All right, so I would know more or less what's wrong with my child. And you were talking about a while ago that ADHD, some people have ADHD. Even you even treat people with ADHD. I never knew that. I thought it was only for psychiatrists. Okay, you want to say something about the
Because
ADHD?
ADHD is part of the psychosocial conditions
Mm-hmm.
that we handle. So part of it is trying to understand them, but we also use different approaches to help the child function better in the school environment. Because usually ADHD, they roam around the classroom, they are not able to finish copying assignments.
I
So
see.
the OT could help them improve those functions.
What other psychological illness, call it illness or imbalance that the OTs get involved in?
Well, in the pediatric setting, there's also autism, which the OTs get involved in often. And basically, what the OTs can do is help them to participate more fully in their activities of daily living, basically self-care, feeding, and participate more in school, interact more with others.
That's very
and the
interesting.
like.
Very, very interesting. I never knew that. Okay. I was asking you a while ago, I mean, does it pay well to be a PT or an OT? I said, depends, okay. And who was one telling me, but you know, there is the joy, the intangibles, okay? Can you give me an example of intangibles? Okay.
Well, the tangible might be a point of contention, but for sure the intangibles, you get a lot of reward from those. For example, I deal with children with problems with posture and movement, and in those cases, for example, I see them as early as 1 month old, and then you teach them how to sit, how to walk. So when you get to see them perform in a school production and do an entire 3-minute dance, that more than compensates for whatever financial issues you may have.
I used to tell my father, because I love entertainment, and I said, you know, when I see the show produced, it's so good. I feel like I'm floating, you know. It's money cannot, I mean, there's not a lot of money that can pay for something like that, you know. You were also telling me about your students, right? Okay.
There are a lot of stories now that the intangible ones, like I have this one student, he has ADHD. He started with me around grade 3. At grade 3, his issue was because his ADHD, he can't control himself much. So when he was angry to his classmate at one point, he threw something, like a coal man in his classmate. And, you know, we had problems in the school and we have to move him in a different school. But eventually, through the help of behavior management and teaching him how to socialize better with others and calming when he's angry, eventually he's able to finish his elementary, but in a different school, but still a regular school, but on top of his class.
You know,
That's one of the intangible things.
That's what teachers have. You must have the soul of a teacher. To be a therapist, you have to have soul of a teacher. It's not all money. But there are job opportunities, right? Are there a lot of job opportunities for therapists? Yes, a lot. I mean, locally and abroad?
Locally and abroad. Let's go to the local first. As OTs, we work with a lot of different populations, as we refer to them. We work with adults with physical dysfunctions, those who have suffered from stroke, those who have suffered from a spinal cord injury, meaning people who are paralyzed probably from the neck or from the waist down. We work with those with rheumatoid arthritis. We also work with children with autism, cerebral palsy, children with ADHD.
So right now, the demand is greater than the supply. Is that so?
Well, in general, yes.
Are you promoting that more people explore this profession?
if you know someone who is thinking of a very worthwhile profession, I would of course very much recommend becoming a physical therapist or an occupational therapist, because it has a lot of you can pursue a lot of specialization, so to speak. It's similar to medicine in that you could pursue to go into pediatric practice, geriatric practice, and I failed to mention to you earlier, I also do my Tai Chi
Yes.
with
All
well
right.
adults in companies.
Okay. Because of that,